Hello and welcome to Estic Media right here. It's ESTIQMEDIA, so kindly subscribe if you haven't subscribed. My name is Esther Wachiko, of course. My social media handles Esther Was on Instagram and Estic Media on YouTube on X. I know it's been quite a while, but there's a lot going on within Nigeria's political landscape, and I think it's actually vital for us to talk about some of the situations ongoing and look for how we can resolve some of these issues. Your recommendations on the comment section will be quite appreciable. So, number one is the situation with apparently 2027 is on the lips of everyone. We know that it will take a while, right, for us to get there. But there's a lot of loopholes within this administration. Other critics say that it's too early to judge this administration's efforts to quelling the insecurity in the country and having to revitalize the economy. Others feel that 1 year is actually long enough, considering the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who had been a two-time governor of a state like Lagos, seek to understand the economic arithmetic, and this was one of the promises he gave us while he was campaigning. So it ought not to take him such a big deal, it ought not to be a big deal in having a proper strategy to handle Nigeria's economic quagmire, filling up the vacuum already created by the previous administration. Well, let's just say that we now have three presidential spokespersons, Sunday Dare, Bayo Nanuga, and Daniel Bwala. There are expectations that these individuals begin to communicate appropriately the president's economic policies that are engineered towards revitalizing Nigeria's economy or giving us a proper trajectory. But there are endemic issues that may put a stall, all right, or put a pin on some efforts. And one of them, majorly right now, is insecurity. Precisely the southeast and the north. These are the two areas or regions that seems to be quite volatile. For the southeast now, we've been having consistent killings and upheavals, specifically Anambra, Imo State, and of recent Ebonyi. Now in Anambra, just on Monday, the seated home, apparently 5 persons were killed. 3 of them were NSCDC officials. One of them actually was in a critical situation due to a stray bullet. That's one of the community members. And the utility vehicles of these NSCDC officials, or you can call them security operators, were also burnt by this unknown gunmen. But the big question is, who are these unknown gunmen? In as much as you're fighting for your right for Biafra, to what end? Is it to the decimation of your people? Is it to the detriment of your economy? Is it to the deplorable condition of your health sector? Is it to the debilitating region structure of your region? These are the basic questions as to what is the entire struggle of Biafra about. And if you intend to achieve it, will you cripple everything that is supposed to make the Biafran dream attractive before it's realized? You're asking people to sacrifice. What if there is nothing more to sacrifice? The young and able-bodied individuals who are meant to make the Southeast quite attractive to potential investors and a growing population, most of them have migrated either to other urban areas that they think they can find lucrative businesses for them to take care of their families, especially their aged members, or some of them have actually traveled out of the country. So how is the Biafran dream going to be achieved if everything seems to be quite disorganized? That's a big question. And for exactly the north, the northern leaders are saying that the region's problems is caused by the leaders themselves. The Arawa Consultative Forum has disclosed that the security and economic problems affecting the region should be blamed on its leaders. The chairman there, Maman Mike Osuman, said that the policies of President Tinubu's administration are repugnant and adverse to the interests of the north, and the behavior of the region's leaders needs critical evaluation. So he admitted that indeed some policies of this current administration are repugnant. However, certain policies and behaviors of the leaders in the region need critical evaluation, and there could be the reasons why the North seems to be retrogressing. So he asked some certain questions which he considered to be critical and vital. He said, to what extent are our elected leaders demonstrating prudence and concern for the domestic and environmental problems bedeviling the North? And to what extent are the governors and legislators synergizing with the traditional leaders in combating ills that exist within the region? And to what extent that some of the sons and daughters, sisters and brothers, sometimes who are into criminal activities, or even those who are not into criminal activities, there's this quietness among some of the elites who can speak up and condemn the ills and criminality going on in the north. Why are they not speaking out? Why are they not saying anything about it? So they're actually decrying the insecurity plaguing the region, stating that the north is under attack by bandits and other criminal groups. And this is not the first time the north has been going through the insecurity in that particular cultural, social cultural landscape. So who are those responsible for this? In the situation with Lakurawa, for example, I read that there were mercenaries that were contracted by the headers in the region to help them protect their livestock and their crop. And over time, when they were able to insulate themselves within the region and the community members were able to accommodate them, properly hospitalize them. When the rift between Nigeria and Niger occurred, a lot of them from that region also came into Nigeria, specifically through Sokoto and of course, they came into Sokoto and some areas in Bauchi, and they settled in. Now, when they realized that imperatively insecurity is actually the cash cow of the day, they decided to seize some of the communities there, put in tax and tax the community members. Now, some supposed political figures who may have been sponsoring or behind these individuals have kept mum, and they're literally pillaging and taking advantage of the community members there. So the question is, at what point will the leaders do something concerning insecurity? Abacha had disclosed that if insecurity holds sway in a country more than 24 or 48 hours, that the government is responsible for it. And there was a time that the BBC African Eye did a documentary where they went into the forest where these Boko Haram individuals reside, and they indeed confirmed that there are persons, all right, in the higher echelon who indeed are actually partnering up with them, giving them all the required information and helping them purchase arms and ammunition for them to conduct the criminal activities they're conducting. So when will the federal government be ready to actually put a stop to this franchise that seems to be benefiting quite a lot of these politicians in that region, to the detriment of the well-being of their people in the region there? That's the big question. For the Southeast, at what point will they wake up? Nigerians, especially Southeasterners in diaspora, the traditional leaders in the Southeast, the governors of the Southeast, when will they converge and declare a state of emergency where they synergize and work to flush out the criminality ongoing in the Southeast? Will this be an opportunity for them to synergize as well and speak with the federal government, specifically President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to utilize his power, just like they did with Bello Bodejo, to actually release Nnamdi Kanu? And maybe we can now know and identify indeed those who are behind the killings in the Southeast. I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comment section concerning these potent issues that I've raised out right here on Estic Media. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment. Bye.